Sumerian culture, because the Sumerians were a very advanced people. Anthropologists, black and white, call Sumer a stair-step civilization. So to give you an example, Sumer would go from a landline telephone to a smartphone in 2 years. This is how advanced Sumer was. Sumer invented the wheel, irrigation, figured out how to turn the Tigris River backwards so that they could irrigate the land and farm. They were amazing farmers. This is where their descendants, the Hebrew Israelites or Yisraelim, got it from. The Israelites were amazing farmers, and yes, Kemet has made fun of the Israelites and said that we like to play in shit. Well, that's called fertilizer. Please. And so, yes, the Israelites were amazing farmers. And also in Sumer, the Sumerians invented beer. They invented so many things. Most anthropologists say that Sumer was the first civilization of record. This is where writing begins, is in Sumer. And so I come from an amazing people, and my whole culture has been hijacked and turned into some strange religion that I don't even recognize. And we don't understand. We can't be players on the world scale if we're dealing with religion, and no other nationality is doing that. The Chinese aren't doing it. The Irish aren't doing it. The English aren't doing it. Nobody does that but melanated people, especially those who say that they are Hebrew Israelites or Christians. All of this religion, and you are a slave in a box. There's no such thing of thinking outside the box or philosophizing or theorizing or having a different thought because, oh, the Most High is going to get you. The Most High is going to kill you. You're going to go to hell. Well, in Hebrew, which should really be called Sumerian, the word for hell is Sheol, which just means the grave or covering. There ain't nobody talking about no turning and burning in no weird place. They're not doing enough studying. And so what was supposed to happen when we came out of Christianity and we came out of that dogma and realizing, well, you know, what does the death of a revolutionary black man, Yehoshua ben Yosef, and yes, his father was named Joseph, so his name was Ben, which means son of Yosef, because his daddy had sex with his mama. That's how he got here. And he was only a man. We'll get to that another time. But how he was a revolutionary, and that it has been turned around, and that look, Easter bunnies in Christianity had nothing to do with his assassination for what he was teaching at the time, which was a revolutionary thought. And we see that sheeple don't like revolutionary thought, whether they're Hebrew Yisraelim especially or whomever. And there was a split and a civil war that was going on in Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, at the time of his existence. So again, it has just turned into something very weird and very strange. And so I know I went on a little diatribe right there, but that they're talking about this lady, Daniela, and we have the same name, who was married to this guy named Mighty Hebrew, and he's been accused of, well, not accused, because they showed his criminal record that he is a level 1 pedophile, and he has to register as a sex offender for the fact he committed rape when he was 18. Now, as we go on, I don't want to make this video too long. You're going to hear some more disturbing things, because his wife also talks about the fact that he slammed her head into the car window, obviously, and you just heard the sisters talking about that, the Akotim, a car that she had bought. And he tried to expose her live on Facebook while she was naked getting out of the tub or shower or something. As we go further in the video, you're going to hear more disturbing things. I think it's in this one. If I don't pull it up in this video, I'll do it in the next video, of sisters trying to commit suicide, sisters that were kicked in the face, sisters that was made to eat dog food. Why was that sister made to eat dog food? I believe they said because she didn't cook for everybody in the camp. And what is all this camp stuff? We are a nation. And this is why we can't go to the UN. This is why we can't be recognized as a nation in exile and work on getting a homeland. But we can't go to any homeland. And I'm not going to any homeland with these Hebrew Israelites, because we have to get rid of this dysfunction. We have to get rid of this misogyny. We have to recognize that the woman is equitable to the man. We will not survive if we continue to have this misogyny. So I'm going to try to pick the video back up. It's a 4-hour video, so I'm definitely not going to play it all. I'm going to skip through and see if we can make some sense of this for you. Hold on.
Said that we was brought into slavery, into captivity. So I'm double captivity? Really? This guy is a joke. He's a joke.
Exile is on mine.
You just be laughing at this guy. He's a laughing stock. Give me a break.
Hey,
I'm double time. So the white man exiled Israel exiled.
Hey, sis, hold on a second, sis. Hold on 1 second. I want to say something real quickly.
Oh.
These sisters need to get this out. I don't want nobody to feel like they're picking on Mighty Hebrew. You gotta understand, for 2 years, someone calling you a whore on Facebook.
Right.
Videos, 1 million videos.
Lesbian.
Boys, because they can't make it.
Pregnancy. I think pregnancy. Oh, wow. I was in a car accident. I was rammed in the back from a taxi driver on my birthday and lost the child. And Malakia had to come, and he has the nerve to disrespect my womb. He had the nerve to disrespect my womb on Facebook and say I faked the pregnancy. Who faked pregnancy? It's 2018 or 2017 at that time. I don't have time to risk my life in faking pregnancies. I lost the child in the event of being hit on my birthday. So every time I think about my birthday, which is the day of his father's birthday, which is ironic, we both have the same birthdays, I lost his child. Really, my brother? These people off.
Wasn't that terrible?
He's a mighty Facebook page.
So we have one sister who don't, but we also know that there are sisters who are still in, and so I really want to know those sisters who are in, what would be their next step. So if they have, would it be the
information regarding him? So his register is current and compliant. You know, if this stuff was exonerated, then he has to give me that information in person, and I need certified copies from him, which he has not given me. So.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back. This is when they're pulling up the Mighty Hebrews
tells us he's 17
arrest
and that
record
the courts lied and said you were 13.
rape.
The court never lied. You lied, and I'm gonna prove it right now. This is what happened. When you're 18 years old in Pennsylvania, all right, since he wants to play this game and be the child and hide itself, let me let the truth out. Right here, the issue right here. Or let me get it on the screen. In Pennsylvania, right, a 17 and a 16-year-old can have sex, and it can be consent to each other, but not to anyone 18 or older. That means if you're 16 and you're 18, they consider it. Tells us he's 17, and that the courts lied and said you were 13. The court never lied. You lied, and I'm gonna prove it right now. This is what happened. When you're 18 years old in Pennsylvania, all right, since he wants to play this game and be the child and hide itself, let me let the truth out. Right here. The issue right here. Or let me get it on the screen. In Pennsylvania.
Now let me pause for a minute to explain to you what's happening. There's this guy, again, named the Mighty Hebrew. And he claimed that he was arrested for drugs and guns. And the woman who married him in Hebrew marriage, which was just sex, which is not real marriage. We're going to get into that video too. These Hebrew Israelites talking about just having sex. That's just screwing. That's just hooking up. Talking about they're married. And the reason why a lot of black women in America who realize they're Hebrew Israelites go for this. Because they've been so beat down before they came into this nation anyway and indoctrinated that they go for all of this extra foolishness and sanity because, again, they believe that this is the will of the Most High. Whoever that is. Whoever the Most High is. See, even the Bible says no man has heard or seen God at any time. Has not heard his voice nor seen his shape at any time. And one thing I like about the 5% Nation that they teach is one of their degrees, we would search no more for that which doesn't exist, this mystery God. So I can't tell you as an atheist Sumerian Hebrew Yisraelim if there is a God somewhere out in the sky in the ether or not. But I can tell you that I have no proof of him or her or them or they. I've never met them. I've never seen them. I've never been spoken to by any of that. And anything that I needed in my life, food, clothes, and shelter, I had to get up and get it. It was not going to come to me by just praying. It's not going to even come to me by just meditating. I could try to go into the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th dimension and manifest or whatever. And yeah, things happen, manifest fast in the higher dimensions. But I'm still in the 3D. And I got to get up and put my hands to work. And that's one thing that the Bible says. The man that don't work, don't eat. You have not because you ask not. You have to manifest it. You got to get up and work and put your hand forth and make it happen. So anyway, they're talking about this guy, the Mighty Hebrew, and how his wife, quote unquote, didn't know that he was convicted of rape. And he came into the Hebrew community and lied and said that it was a drug charge and gun charges and that he was 17 and that the girl was 15 and her mom lied and said she was 13. But in all actuality now, see, we're in the age of information. And the Freedom of Information Act, they have pulled his charges, and here we go.
A 17 and a 16-year-old can have sex, and it can
but
be
I want to speed it up a little bit.
The national center located in Washington, D.C. National unit, because he's the same famous with the community, because he's not registered with at the Washington level that he has been, but again, that's only because of his tier level. So I know that being a certain tier, they do not have to register with Washington, D.C. National Registry. Yeah, I don't know anything about tier levels. We don't deal with tier levels here in Washington State. Right. At the state level, but at the federal level, it comes up, so they would have to be at a 1.
So the sister actually called his parole officer.
Domestic violence or any kind of situation that is an abusive situation, whether it be physical, mental.
So that's the counselors right now.
Solution right here. We need a relief. Thank you. I bow. But anyway, let's let me get some conversation from if you got something to say quick, because I'm about to take Zavak's call. Mo or Cherry Love or or Cheryl. Yeah, go ahead.
I would just say this real quick. On top of what the information that she just provided, you as women, or we as women, we need to do our due diligence. Like Mo said before, and people was like, I can't believe you asking people for their social security numbers. Well, I sure do. I have a daughter, and if I'm out, you know, in
I told you, you gotta call in, brother.
How do I call in? I'm not too tech savvy, so sorry about that.
I put the number.
At Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center on 68th Street and the East Side in New York. I was there for that woman. I brought thousands of dollars into that home through business, through donations, and through people in my name.
Now, this is the first guy that Daniela was married to, Zabak. And I was Facebook friends with him and her, and I personally witnessed this.
The rest of these women on this call, I don't know none of them.
Okay, adulterer.
You gotta go to you. He gotta come to you. He gotta come to you. He's not done.
Well, you think you know.
Weak man, but you can't step up on this platform and these people women like you do.
I don't know.
You've been moving.
I don't.
Okay, so let me pause right there. Let me tell you what's happening. What's happening is her first, Daniela that was married to the mighty Hebrew, who did most of the atrocities to her, who was the Hebrew guy who was accused, you know, who did 10 years for rape when he was 18 and lied about it, said it was a drug and a gun charge. Now, this is her first husband that she was married to in the Hebrew nation, Israelites, named Zabak. And maybe you couldn't hear me over the video was playing at the time, was that I was Facebook friends with them at one point in time. And so I know firsthand, I watched this play out, that she had a daughter who had cancer, and he had a couple of other wives, because they're into polygamy. He had a couple of other wives, and how he mistreated her while her daughter was sick and had cancer. And she goes on in this video to talk about how they had a video of him giving her daughter the finger while she's laying in the bed fighting for her life for cancer. And a lot of this stuff played out on Facebook to the point that I unfriended them. But I did witness this before I unfriended them. But she also says that Zabak never was physically abusive to her, unlike the mighty Hebrew, who definitely was. So that's what you're listening to right now. So I know this can be a little convoluted because I watched the entire video and it is 4.5 hours. So Zabak has just called in.
I love family and we work together.
Thousands of dollars. Prove it.
Everybody knows
You receive donations more than what people have provided. What are you talking about?
And I don't want to be associated with none of this. As far as survival,
I know why you don't want to.
If you don't want to be associated, then why are you on the line? If you don't want to be associated, then why did you call in?
slander. Now listen.
If you didn't want to be associated, then why did you call in? That's the question.
Trying to cover all his tracks because he's not
nothing against none of these women.
You can have take all you want. You mad because your dog is hanging out the window.
They should have came and talked to me and got both sides.
Ain't nobody got to come talk to you and double check with you about nothing.
No, let's be honest. Whether you believe in the Messiah or not, I never did Danya nothing wrong. Did we have problems in our marriage? Yes, we did. But to this day,
you are fraud. You're not a provider. You are fraud. You like concubines. Continue doing what you're doing. Destroy the household. Prove it. I definitely can prove I've been paying the bills for years.
Garfield, listen.
Hold on.
Charlie, this household is in order.
Because everybody was speaking.
You ain't getting that stab back, I can tell you that.
Going on right here. I never touched that. I love what I
Nobody never said you touch. Why are you so emotional? Why are you so emotional? You're emotional.
Our Christian doctrine.
You ain't got emotional words.
in Hebrew.
Thousands of dollars.
This ain't about nothing. This is about your crazy behavior. That's what it's about. You act like a fool on the street. I can imagine what you like behind closed doors. I can imagine what you like behind closed doors. Shut up.
Household.
Shut up. You ain't got a leg
You
to
got
stand
many
on.
sisters exposing you. What you talking about? Please. Adulterer.
The video, Danya, the video.
Yeah, let's talk about the video. Zabak.
Kill me. How you gonna try to come up here like you so innocent?
Oh,
like
don't
you
act like don't act like my daughter didn't take a video of you putting the middle finger up at her in the hospital. We got that. Zabak, we know my daughter took a video.
Y'all heard that.
Bring that dude out.
So I'm going to speed it up.
I didn't even hear the other one.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clear it up, Garfield, real quick, because you were talking to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and clear it up. The reason why I said that is because, first of all, Sonetta comes on and calls basically as almost like what you call it, like.
Well, they're talking about Sonetta.
Dude, I believe in secretaries. This is Malakia. I represent the Lumdy Nation. My father is Lumdy out of Lumberton, North Carolina, and I stand for the Lumdy Nation, the creator, and ancestors. I'm a free-thinking person. That's me.
Free. So called him, and what I did is I changed the name of the show. I said the show is now Surviving the Hebrew Israelites. Sister Danielle Speaks, and then I put an equal sign, Mighty Hebrew and Zabak, episode 1. So I took the abuse out. So whoever listens, they'll listen and draw their own conclusion. So he won't feel he's attached to that.
Well, but here's the problem. You just had that woman go on the rant at the end talking about somebody knocked your daughter upside the head.
No. You misunderstood what she was saying. You totally misunderstood what she was saying. You totally misunderstood.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, sis, let me take this other call. All right. Thanks for the call, sis. Peace and love.
Okay, I get one more point because it's a whole show.
All right, hold on a second. Hold on a second. All right, go ahead, sis.
Well, I just wanted to make this last point that it's not fair to title this show Surviving the Israelites as if the whole Israelite community wronged them because they chose the dusty nigga. If everything they say is true, which I didn't hear it all from the beginning, but if they're saying he's just this awful person, you don't get to throw all the rest of Israel under the bus because all of Israel's men are not abusing women. My man is the Israelite. He doesn't abuse me. And you can see the way I speak, that I speak freely, and he's never once told me not to read my...
I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay after this phone call. I hope you're okay after this phone call.
Well, okay. I'm going to stop it right there. I hope this video made some type of sense to you. I know it seemed like I was all over the place. But as I watch these videos, and I'm going to do a part 2, because he did a part 2, of how disturbing this whole situation is amongst the Hebrew Israelites. And their thighs are just being bare. That's all it is. It's been stuff going on amongst the Hebrew Israelites that I can bear witness to for over 20 years. Like I said, I never had those things at my temple, at my Knesset, in my organization, because we were normal people. We knew it was our nationality. Did we have a level of thinking that there was a God out in the sky somewhere? Yes, of course. Yes, we did. Most Hebrews do. Did I believe in a God out in the sky at that time? Yes, I did. But I've never been as happy in my life as I am now, just accepting my nationality and studying everything under the sun, in the universe, in the multiverse, and just knowing my nationality and my language and my customs, my traditions, and knowing how to move forward in the world as a human being, as an ethereal spirit having a human experience. And in this human experience, we're dealing with nationhood, geographical location, mineral rights, resources, what nations have. Period. And not sitting up here talking about the 20th chapter Deuteronomy and some entity that I've never met is going to come and turn me and burn me. Like I said, in my Knesset, we never did believe in heaven or hell anyway. Those are states of existence, state of being within you, all within your personal soul. You can be in a crowded room and feel all alone. You can be all alone in a room, in a house, and not be lonely. It is what you perceive in your mind, what's going on in you. Heaven is within you. Hell is within you. There's no place, no lake of fire, no pit where you're going to turn and burn. You're going to reap what you sow. Those are the laws of the universe. You can't just go around killing. You can't just go around stealing. You can't go around raping children, raping people. You're going to reap what you sow. And we have laws. Man has laws in place to deal with that. We have a penal code. We have a penal system. You will be in jail or prison somewhere. We have a system in place to deal with those things. We don't need some God or some theory or some God out in the sky that's going to do something to us. And all it has been is a tool of the European to work on our minds so that we wouldn't fight back when he was raping us, kidnapping us. He robbed the minerals out the land, and then he stole the people. And the people that he mainly stole were 12 to 16-year-old girls. And I'm going to get into that video too of this whole misnomer that grown people were brought to South America and North America as slaves. Let's be real. You can't take a 30, 40-year-old person and turn them into a slave. What are you going to do? You're going to snatch the children. You're going to kill the parents on the shores of Africa. Into the countries that we fled into when we fled out of Jerusalem in 70 AD. We went into Spain. We went into Portugal, the Iberian Peninsula. We stayed there for 500 years with the Moors, who were also black people. And I'm going to get into that video too, and that misnomer one day. And so when after 500 years and we left out of there and we came back down into sub-Saharan Africa, remnants of us and groups of us stayed in different countries. As you have the Limba in South Africa, you have the Ashanti, you have the Bantu. Those are the Yoruba, the Igbo. Those are all Hebrew Yisraelim or Sumerian Ibri Yisraelim. And so it was 12 to 16-year-old girls mainly who were brought here as slaves. And I have the historical records to prove that, because who can you bend? You can bend a girl easier than a male. She will adhere to what you're saying, and she will work. And then when she has children, as you rape her or you mate her, she will teach her children to obey you. And I'm going to get into that video one day of how the black woman in America is the cornerstone of racism and white supremacy, because she has always been from the inception. And this is why, because he got her as a child. So I just wanted to stop it there. And we're dealing with this religion though, because all of this is about indoctrination and how we as a people have to come out of this indoctrination, this enslavement of religion. Now, again, like I said, I have family and friends that Christians. I don't care if you're a Hebrew Israelite, if you believe in the Most High, all that stuff doesn't bother me. I'm not here to control you. But this video is for anybody who says, you know what, I want to keep my nationality as a Sumerian, as a Hebrew Yisraelim, as a Hebrew Israelite, but I don't want all of this religious dogma. I want to study the Anunnaki. I want to study the Sumerian emerald tablets. And we're going to definitely get into that. And how the Bible was not plagiarized from Kemet, but it was plagiarized from their ancestors, from the Sumerians, and how the Hebrew Israelites did not think it robbery to tell their ancestors' lives and stories in first person. Because that's what happened. So, and look at all of this abuse and dysfunction that is going on with these Hebrew Israelites, and why? Because of religion. So this video went a little bit longer than I like for my videos to go. It's at an hour. But this has been Cherie Danielle out of Chi-Town. And it's nation time. Let's get it. Let's build. So let's go to the song of the day, because we got to have some type of joy in the midst of all of this. So I think an appropriate song for today would be something about that you can relate to for Sumer and the Pangea and the true origin of this planet. That's what we need to get into, and not all of this religious dogma and these philosophies that is just weighing us down. It has done nothing but kill us. That is all it's doing. It's killing us, destroying us. But it's all coming to fruition. It is coming to fruition. People are coming out of all of this. And there's another statistic I want you to know, that 3 million people a year now is starting to leave Christianity. 3 million people a year. Because we in the information age. People are starting to do research. People are starting to say, no, it's too many holes and gaps in the Bible. What is going on here? It's too many schools of thoughts happening. You start dealing with the Council of Nice and how the Bible was put together. And you say, hey, I don't have all the answers, but I know this is not right. So let's listen to the song of the day, and I'm going to catch y'all later.
Seriously, what is this? New Listerine Ready tabs aren't gum, mints, or marbles. If you guessed they're tabs that turn into liquid as you chew, so you can swish and clean your whole mouth instantly, then you were correct. And that was a really good guess. Nice job.
Don't we just hate the ads?